17th City of Monmouth Council meeting to order. If you'll please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We could have a roll call for attendance, please.
Alderman Teal.
Here.
Alderman Bone.
Here.
Alderman Weber.
Here.
Alderman Dobb.
Here.
Alderman Connor.
Here.
Alderman Pineda.
Here.
Alderman Van Fleet.
Here.
Roll call complete.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion for approval of the November 3rd council meeting minutes as presented.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
I have a motion second. Are there any amendments or corrections to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Teal.
Yes.
Bone.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Daw.
Yes.
Connor.
Yes.
Pineda.
Yes.
Van Fleet.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We have no one in our audience this evening. Under the consent agenda, we have one item, and that's approval of the bills. And motion to pay the bills. And a second?
Yeah.
And a second. Any items to be removed for further discussion? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Bone.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Daw.
Yes.
Connor.
Yes.
Pineda.
Yes.
Van Fleet.
Yes.
Teal.
Yes. Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Under Committee of the Whole, we have our Monmouth Police Department October report. Chief Schweitzer.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. For the month of October, we made 43 arrests. We issued 111 citations. Dispatch took in 3,552 calls. MPD handled 1,651 calls. The dispatch center dispatched out 3,169 calls. We handled 35 accidents, and the officers worked 18 grand hours. Incidents note during the month, officers spent approximately 12 hours in court for various traffic, ordinance, and criminal cases. I attended the City Safety Committee meeting. Myself and Lieutenant Blackman took part in several Zoom meetings for the implementation of the e-citation system that the Warren County Clerk is heading. Deputy Chief Bratcher and SRO Myers conducted student training at Lincoln Elementary, Central Intermediate, and Monmouth Roseville Junior High School. The annual Freedom Ride 5K occurred with no incidents. Monmouth College homecoming took place with no major incidents reported. Officer Garrett Nichols participated in the Seasons Treating event held on the public square. I participated in the trick-or-treat event held at the Monmouth Fire Department, and I did my monthly talk on the radio. Staff training, all officers continued state-mandated training. I had 2 officers attend standardized field sobriety instructor training. 2 officers attended control tactics instructor training, and 1 officer attended trauma-initiated response training. And under equipment-related issues, regular maintenance on several squad cars, and all of the police department speed radars that are in the squad cars were certified. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Monmouth Fire Department for October. Chief Rexroth.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. For the month of October, we had 127 calls. That brings us up to 1,334 calls so far this year. A couple of highlights of the training. We broke in the new training site, the container site down there on South 3rd Street. It worked very well. It's exactly how we had hoped it would. We burned wood and straw in the barrels underneath the vents. The ductwork that we had mounted to the side, and it filled the containers all with smoke and a little bit of heat, but it made it for some very realistic training. And we had our whole department out there, and each shift was given a different scenario to run, and it was outstanding. It was great to use, and we're very happy we have it available now. Firefighters Lucas Potter and Skylar Melton, our newest firefighters. I think I mentioned to you last time I spoke to you that they were graduating from the Fire Academy down in Champaign, and so I went down there, attended that. And then following the academy, both firefighters took a training class called Fire Apparatus Engineer. This is where you learn how to pump the water pump on the truck. And so through all the hoses and everything else, and about water supply, getting from hydrants or drafting from a body of water or something like that. So both of them had the opportunity to do that. Following that class, Lucas Potter took an extrication training class that was a week long, and then also a hazardous materials response class. And Skyler is now in EMT training. He was not able to attend those other two classes because he does not have his EMT certification yet, and so he is doing that class right now and should be done in about mid-December. But aside from that, last month was also Fire Prevention Month. All of our guys were out talking to the schools and some other groups about fire safety and things like that. They always do a great job. We actually had a couple opportunities to take our new trailer out and kind of show that off and get some people through there, and everybody seems to really love it. So we did hold the Halloween event out at the fire station. It went great this year. We had hundreds of people come through. I don't know how many exactly, but we gave away a ton of candy and 200 or 300 hot dogs, and so people seem to really like that. But aside from that, Assistant Chief Spears is celebrating 26 years of the department. So anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next, we have our 2025 tax levy presentation. Lou, I think everybody has a handout at their position, their desk.
Sure. Establishing the 2025 property tax levy is the first step in the whole budgeting process. The levy is set in 2025. It's for taxes collected in 2026, and these would be the revenues that would be reflected in the fiscal year 2026, 2027 budget, which actually takes effect. The fiscal year begins on May 1st annually. So just a little background information on that. If you look at the first graphic, you'll see a pie chart there that basically shows the breakdown of where the proposed tax levy would fall. You can see the total levy is $3,048,000, and as has been the trend for many years, the two largest uses of those property tax revenues is to fund the police and fire pensions. And in this particular case, these contributions are, this allocation is about $75,000 more per year than the current year. The $349,000 that is allocated to corporate, these are the actual dollars that are used to help provide municipal services in our general fund. They only represent less than 3% of the total revenues that are needed to operate city services. So you can see that property taxes actually have a very small role in supporting city services. And then lastly, on debt service, we do have a slight increase from $400,000 to $449,000 to help assist us in our debt service. So we have typically have used utility revenues from our water and sewer utilities that cover most of the debt service, but we are anticipating that there will be a need for additional resources to help support debt service. We spend approximately $2 to $3 million a year just on debt service with all of our financing that we have available out there. So just note, about 74% of all property taxes actually support the public safety pensions. On the next page, you'll see the blue colored graph, and this really reflects a growth in the EAV. That's our assessed value of the properties. The EAV of property represents about 1/3 of the market value of the property. But if you look at over the years, you can see that there has been very moderate increases over the last several years. ranging from about 2 to 3% a year. But if you note, next year, we have some properties that are coming on, particularly the Americold property, which had a 10-year tax abatement. They now are going back on the tax rolls as of this year, and for taxes to be collected next year. And you can see the increase from 92 million up to 101 million. That's about $909 million, which is about a 10% increase. So this is, I think, a very good example of how communities benefit by providing economic incentives to businesses. Here we have 10 years later, after granting a enterprise zone tax abatement to Americold, that we are now going to be able to actually increase our levy over the 5% and still have the effect of lowering the taxes for most other property owners, because of the growth of the property value actually allows us to increase our levy while moderating any impact on the other properties in the community. And let me just move over to the next page where you see the green bars. There, you can see that, again, our rate has been increasing slightly over the last few years. We had a modest decrease last year, but look at the significant difference between this year and next year's $2.98 per $1,000, and this is the effect of having that growth in the EAV. The denominator has in the formula has increased significantly, so it actually reduces the actual rate on property. So even with an increase of over 5% in the levy next year, we should really, most property owners will experience a decrease. Now, those property owners that don't experience it will probably be because there was some factor that increase their property value. With the increase in the property value, there'll be a corresponding increase in the EAV, upon which the tax rate is multiplied by to average the actual taxes that are due on those properties. So this will certainly be the case for Americold. They will see a significant increase, and it should provide a bit of a comfort on all the other properties in town as a general rule. Maybe not every property, but most properties. There's one thing I would like to just caution you on, is that the EAV number is an estimate at this point. It is based on information and data that we have collected from Warren County. We do know what the EAV is on Americold now. What we won't know is if there will be any moderation in that EAV that the Warren County officially applies to that property when it is actually assessed. But right now, these are based on EAVs that we strongly believe will reflect ultimately what will be. And so there's been some cushion. The levy, as I say, the EAV's increasing by 10%, but we're being cautious with the levy. The levy is around 6 to 7%. So if there is any moderation in the EAV downward, which I believe would be very slight, modest at most, it still should drive down the tax rate for all other properties, or most other properties, on that third page. And then lastly, just to kind of share with the council, this is a graph that you should be familiar with. We've been doing it for a number of years, just showing the commitment that the city council has had towards financially supporting the police and fire contributions. And you can see next year another significant increase Last year, we increased it 50,000, next year it would go up to 75,000. And again, we believe we have a lot of confidence in these numbers, but ultimately, the Illinois Department of Insurance will tell us what the required minimums are. This is something that's been new in the last 3 years or so. We have exceeded those minimum requirements established by the Department of Insurance and each year that they have existed, and we believe that we will again exceed those numbers. But I just want to point out to you that if we don't, we might have to make some additional allocation of monies into those funds if we fall below the minimum. Again, I think we've built in a lot of cushion here that we should easily be in a good position when those numbers do finally come out. So it's interesting to note that you note at the bottom there, there's been a 162% increase in our contributions to the pension fund since 2018. I will tell you that there continues to be a significant unfunded liability in those accounts. Fortunately, Monmouth is not in as much of a precarious situation as other cities are throughout the state, but this is the pensions. It has been a financial challenge for the last 10-15 years for municipalities, and they will continue to be a challenge for most cities, just like they are for us. So this is not unique to us. It's common throughout the state for any city that operates a police and fire department. So anyways, with that, we would ask that the council allow us to schedule a public hearing for, I think it's December 1st.
Right.
Have a public hearing because the tax levy itself will exceed the 5% threshold. We do have to have a public hearing. But again, even with the increase in the levy, the tax rate for most properties should decline as it pertains to city property taxes. So, any questions?
A good presentation, Lou. Yeah, that we did go around to all the taxing bodies 10 years ago to help attract Americold here. All the taxing bodies joined with the city of Monmouth and did grant them a 10-year abatement because the enterprise zone had ended up, and that helped close the deal to get them located here, and that over $30 million investment and 200 jobs. So it was a good get for the city. And again, I think you explained it very well. Our property tax rate should fall, and if all else stays the same with the people's properties, then the city's portion of the tax bill should decline. So, any other questions? Well, thank you. This is the first step in the first presentation, and we'll meet again and discuss it.
We will go ahead and schedule the public hearing for December 1st. So.
And you know, as final numbers start to come in, I hope by the end of November we'll get final numbers so that we have some more definitive numbers for that hearing. So, thank you. Moving on in our agenda, Lou, I think you're here to discuss I think there was a ratification by the members of the ASCME, and it's now on our plate to vote on that.
Correct. 2 weeks ago in exec session, I kind of outlined what the tentative agreement was, pending ratification by the union, and I had enclosed in with the agenda a one-page summary, 3-year contract, 4%, 5%, the same factors that we had with police and previously with fire regarding employee contributions to health insurance premiums, establishing a maximum on the city's contribution into an employee's health insurance, our health savings account. And then, of course, establishing an increase in the deductible for the high deductible plans from 2,800 to 3,200. The ASME did meet last week and have ratified this, and would ask for the city council to now approve the 3-year agreement with ASME.
Do we have any questions for Lou?
Thanks for all your work on that, Lou. I know it's been a long one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss this part of the job.
Hearing no questions, I entertain a motion for approval of the ASME union contract as presented.
Motion to approve.
And a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Weber,
Yes.
Doa,
Yes.
Connor,
Yeah.
Pineda,
Yes.
Van Fleet,
Yes.
Teal,
Yes.
Bone.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion for
Motion
adjournment.
adjourned.
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. We are adjourned.